gentlemen, if you can please settle down, take a seat. We are about to begin. Good morning, everybody. My name is Jarna Madan, and I'm delighted to be the host for this program. Women in real estate, a force to be reckoned. In a male-dominated field, they have beckoned. The challenges they face, they overcome. Their talents and skills, second to none. They negotiate deals with tact and grace, build relationships with a smile on their face. They're problem solvers, multitaskers too, able to handle anything that comes into view. Their hard work and dedication cannot be denied. Their intelligence and drive cannot be undermined. They're leaders, agents, and brokers too, shaping the future with all that they do. Their resilience and strength, an inspiration to all. Their passion and commitment, never to fall. They break barriers, they shatter ceilings. Women in real estate, their success is revealing. So here's to the women who blazed the trail in a world that's often tough and stale. We celebrate you, we honor you, we raise our voice. Women in real estate, you are our choice. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the celebration of women in real estate. Each year, the Boston Real Estate Times recognizes outstanding women for their contribution to the commercial real estate industry in the New England area. And this year is no different. We have some amazing, inspiring women joining this esteemed list. So let's have a round of applause for all our honorees today. Before we begin the presentation, just a few ground rules. If I can request everybody to just keep your phones on silent or vibrate mode. Once we start the awardee ceremony, I will start with last name first. I'm going to read a brief bio of the honoree and then invite them on the stage. And once they're here and receive the plaque, I will ask them a little question. Our show will just be about 90 minutes, so if I could have everybody's attention and applause and cheer all the honorees, that would be wonderful. Now it gives me great pleasure to introduce the person who has created this amazing platform. It is the publisher of Boston Real Estate Times and its sister publication, the Life Sciences Times, Mr. Upendra Mishra.
Thank you, Jarna. Good morning, everyone, and thank you very much for coming this so early today on Friday. On behalf of Boston Real Estate Times, I would like to welcome you all to our annual Outstanding Women Awards ceremony. And I'm going to briefly talk about two things. One is a little bit talk about Boston Real Estate Times, and then I'm going to tell you my own story, how my own story reflects the women in commercial real estate in Boston. Regarding Boston Real Estate Times, in early 90s and late 80s, there used to be a magazine called Square Feet. And that magazine went out of business. That name was used by Boston Business Journal, and they started a magazine called SF for Square Feet. And I was editing that magazine when I was working at the Boston Business Journal as the real estate editor. After I left Boston Business Journal, they stopped that magazine as well. And then, when I started my business, I thought I'm going to revive that Boston SF magazine. So I took that name and started Boston SF. And it picked up quite well, maybe 20 years ago. People always getting confused with the name SF. People in the industry knew SF what meant, but outside the industry, people always say, what is Boston SF? It is Boston San Francisco? Is it Boston science fiction? So the name was very confusing. About 5, 6 years ago, we changed the name to Boston Real Estate Times. And that was a very magical moment. Luckily, the domain name was available. And so it has been really a boon for us because anybody doing a search on Google, Yahoo, you put Boston Real Estate, and the first place comes is Boston Real Estate Times. So whenever we write an article, anything, the search engine is absolutely phenomenal for anything we publish at the Boston Real Estate Times. Today, we have about 6,000 to 7,000 unique visitors every day on Boston Real Estate Times. And it has an amazing outreach through search engines as well. We have about 13,000 subscribers to our online edition. And we have just launched a very glossy print edition as well. And we are going to profile today's event in that upcoming print edition there. Now, how my journey reflects the women in commercial real estate in Boston. Exactly 30 years ago, I moved to Boston after spending 10 years in Latin America as a foreign correspondent. And my first job in Boston was real estate editor of the Boston Business Journal. And I didn't know anyone. I was very new to the town. And I had to make all these contacts with all the real estate developers, brokerage firms, architects, construction companies. And I started to make an appointments, meeting them. Invariably, everyone I met was a male. It was almost impossible to see any women in the industry. One of my also job was to do a profile of founders or CEOs of real estate companies. In 2.5 years, I was at the Boston Business Journal. I profiled only one woman. Think about that. I'm talking about 25 years ago or so. Idea to launch New Wire, the women in commercial real estate. And I remember I went to their first meeting, and the energy in that room was absolutely incredible. All the founders, everybody who was attending, they were so exciting that to put the women on the map in the commercial real estate. Now, fast forward today, still we have a long way to go. But today, if you look at the architecture industry in Boston, almost every major firm is today headed by a woman. We have some here today in our audience today. You go to brokerage. It was totally unheard of, women leading a brokerage firms and rising on the pedestal there. Now in Boston, we do have that, the women leading the brokerage firms. Real estate development, engineering today. And you name a section where construction industry. And today, so we are very proud. It's still very, very long way to go. And we are here in Boston, on behalf of Boston Real Estate Times. We do this event every year, where our goal is to really encourage, recognize how the women are changing the landscape of Boston real estate. And today in this crowd, all these industries are represented by these outstanding women today. We are so proud to honor them, and we really want to congratulate them on behalf of Boston Real Estate Times, as well as our 13,000 subscribers, many of them who took time to nominate them for this award. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Mishra. If I can request you to please stay back. All right, let's get this started. Our very first honoree is Amy Applebaum. Amy is a highly successful woman in the male-dominated industry of geotechnical engineering. She has worked at the McPhail Associates for over 20 years and is known for her leadership skills. technical expertise, problem-solving abilities, and a sense of humor. Amy has been appointed as one of the 4 managing principals during the recent ownership transfer of McPhail Associates. She works with major real estate clients in Boston area, providing economical and practical foundation engineering solutions for complex projects. Amy is also proactive in addressing industry-wide issues and concerns, such as updating the company's accounting system and leading the diversity, equity, and inclusion training program. Congratulations, Amy. Please, everybody, let's welcome Amy Applebaum. Congratulations, Amy.
Thank you.
Your question is, what inspired you to pursue a career in geotechnical engineering, and how did you overcome any obstacles you faced as a woman in the male-dominated industry?
This format was a big surprise to me this morning. I clearly typed the wrong thing into the GPT chatbot to come up with what I wanted to say this morning. But first, I just wanted to say thank you to the Boston Real Estate Times just for having a program like this that really helps celebrate all of these wonderful women that are not just recognized today, but in this room. It's phenomenal to be part of you, be part of this group, the impact you're creating, the powerhouse firms that you all represent. I'm honored and humbled, especially for McPhail Associates, to be recognized in this way. If you don't know who McPhail Associates is, it's because we're geotechnical environmental engineers. We work mostly underground, so you have to really look for us. What inspired me to be a geotechnical engineer was really, I always had an affinity for math and science, and I continue to love the progress that we see encouraging young girls to pursue their interests in math and science. I had the opportunity with a professor that I worked with at UMass Amherst. Any UMass alums in the house? Woohoo! Go Minutemen. So I went to a working trip to Ghana, and he brought, even though it was a field trip that we were helping his wife administer a healthcare program, he brought me on a special tour of Ghana and what they were doing to help build infrastructure, help bring clean drinking water, just bathroom facilities to the community that we were in. And what I recognized on that trip was, with all the hard technical problems that were there to solve, it was just as much about the relationships that needed to be formed in order to get that hard work done. And as I was going through my schooling and understanding how was I going to combine these things, I really recognized that getting into consulting, being part of a really strong network of people, was how I was going to use these strong math and technical skills to help transform the communities and the environments that really inspired me. So I really appreciate being part of this real estate community. You guys, you are so strong. The fact that there are just even more men, I think, in this room than women speaks volumes to the progress that we're making. And the relationships that we have is really probably the thing that I'm most proud of. When I think about the obstacles that I've had to overcome, it's really been about finding the people that I can be around that make me feel strong, that make me feel my best. And I encourage everyone in this room to think about those types of people. Work with them, build teams with them, go on adventures with them, have coffee with them. They're the people that give us our strength, that help us accomplish all the hard work that we have left to do. There's really big problems left for us to solve, right? In our industry, in our communities, in climate change, in social issues, all of this. And it's not going to be enough for us just to be our best ourselves. It's going to be us finding the people that we can help bring out the best in each other that's really going to help rise us to a place that we can make some really big impact continuing in the future. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Natalie, for everything that you do. Our next awardee is Natalie Breen. Natalie is the manager of Cummings Executive Suites and has achieved 100% occupancy for both centers since its opening in 2009. She manages relations with nearly 300 commercial clients and generates revenue exceeding 22 million. Natalie is also actively involved in philanthropy, serving on the boards of Friends of Chevalier Theatre, Jean Mack Gymnasium, and Medford Public Library Foundation, as well as committees for the Medford Chamber of Commerce and Cummings Foundation Grant Review Committee. Please welcome Natalie Brain. Congratulations, Natalie.
Thank you.
Your question is, how do you balance your busy role overseeing the Cummings Executive Suites team with your commitment to various nonprofit boards and committees, and what motivates you to give back to the community in the way that you do?
Thank you. I would say, I don't know if anybody has the balance act quite figured out yet, and if you do, please let me know. But I am a firm believer that you can't do everything, but you can do the things that are important to you. So in my life, I have prioritized my work and giving back to the community. I'm a Medford girl through and through. I'm a townie, I'll never leave, and my job is to make that community the best that it can be. And I have to say, being at Cummings has really landed me in the perfect spot to do that. Cummings is so supportive. If anybody's aware of our philanthropic arm, Cummings Foundation has donated over $450 million to local nonprofits in Middlesex, Essex, and Suffolk County, and nearly all of the 11 million square feet that Cummings owns is operated for the sole benefit of the foundation. So our clients' rental dollars are going right back into the communities where our buildings are and where our staff lives, which is super important to me. I also grew up in a family where giving back is very important. It takes a village. It's something that I will always find the hours in the day to do. While I'm up here, can I give a couple of thanks? I'd be remiss to not thank a couple of people while I'm up here. My manager, Erica Wright, she every day shows me how to be a leader and a mom with grace. She's a big mentor of mine. Our executive committee, Eric Anderson, Dennis Clark, Derek Russell, they have really allowed me in my career to take ownership, and I'm so grateful to have been able to spend most of my 20s and start this new decade with Cummings. I feel like I've really found my spot. And also Bill Cummings, to show that us Medford kids can do anything. He has been amazing, and working with him has been the absolute privilege of a lifetime.
Thank you so much. Our next honoree is Kristen Brown. Kristen is a highly experienced professional with over 30 years in real estate industry. She manages complex projects including MIT graduate student housing and Biomed Realty's Assembly Innovation Park. She's the only woman in the partnership of 7 that owns and manages North Star, where she leads the firm's marketing efforts and charitable committee. Kristen mentors employees to develop their brand in the industry and emphasizes authenticity, ethical behavior, strong communication skills, and exceptional services. She is a member of CoreNet Global New England and was named Entrepreneur of the Year by Crew Boston in 2015. Kristen has a bachelor's in business administration from Boston University and a master's in real estate development from MIT. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Kristen Brown. Many congratulations, Kristen.
Thank you.
Your question is, as the only woman in the partnership for North Star, you have navigated and succeeded in a male-dominated industry. What is your advice when it comes to taking risk and success for all of us here today?
Sure, thank you. So my advice, simply put, would be to take the risk and to lean in. And I don't know that I love lean in so much, but the truth is success and growth doesn't happen unless you actually stretch yourself a little bit and it is uncomfortable. And if you think about it, it's interesting, but they say, and I'm just gonna say they say, that women are risk adverse. But I would ask you, are we really risk adverse? If you think about, well, let's just call it motherhood for an example, and giving birth, we're not risk adverse, right? But some recent research through Forbes suggests and confirms that we aren't risk adverse, that it really is the environment in which we operate and being in a place where the consequences are the same for when we take risk versus somebody else taking the risk. So the truth is, we should take the risk to succeed, but we should also be continuing to form a workplace where risk is received the same for all. And just like the other, I do have a couple thank yous, but I'm gonna have to pull to them just so I don't miss or mess up, unlike those of you that preceded me without your paper. So first, to my business partners, they have fostered an inclusive environment where we all take risk and they are celebrated or constructively reviewed afterwards, depending on the outcome. To everybody at North Star for being competitive risk takers, but fully believing and understanding that we rise and fall as one. There is not just an individual there. Kind of corny, but my parents who never said I couldn't or shouldn't, given the time that I was raised. To my boys who absolutely challenge my negotiation and management skills on the daily. They are definitely at the nexus of why I do this. But lastly and mostly important, thank you to the Boston Real Estate Times for including me in this distinguished list of outstanding women. It's an honor to be among this group of leaders. Being a woman in the male-dominated industry does take a tremendous amount of perseverance to thrive and risk-taking to truly lead. Being honored among the other outstanding women who are here today and have blazed their trail is a distinct honor. And while I'm proud to be here today with all of you to accept this award, I am just excited for the women who will follow us with their many incredible contributions. Because succeeding requires a great deal of intelligence, perseverance, and the courage to take risk. Thank you.
Thank you, Kristen. That was wonderful.
Thank you.
Our next honoree is Carolyn Desmond. Carolyn is a highly experienced real estate professional who has delivered over 2 million square feet of development in Boston, DC, and Poland. And most recently, with Sankasa, she takes a holistic approach to development and is currently leading the planning, design, and PDA approval of a Longwood Place, a transformational development in the LMA, including 1.7 square feet of office, lab, and residential space. Carolyn is also leading the design evolution on 380 Stewart Street, a 625,000 square feet Class A office development in the Back Bay, and represents Skanskasa and real estate industry on the NAIOP Government Affairs Committee. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Carolyn Desmond. Many congratulations, Carolyn.
Thank you.
Your question is, how do you balance the competing demands of sustainability, community engagement, and profitability in your approach to real estate development? And what strategies have you found to be most effective achieving success in all these three areas?
Thank you. Challenging question as a real estate developer, but most recently with our Longwood Place development, this is front and center of what I'm doing every day. So for sustainability, it's been about being willing to push the envelope, understanding what policies are coming forward in the city, and being willing to do the most that you possibly can with sustainability. For community engagement, continuous transparency, building relationships with everyone, all of the key stakeholders. And then for profitability, I think continuing to figure out how to balance with my team the competing demands, and everybody is asking for something different, but being able to also make it something that is economically viable is so important. I think in order to do that, you have to be able to push the envelope, build relationships, be transparent, but also try to, sorry, it's a tough question, but really figure out how you can do what's needed for sustainability and best for the community, but be able to adapt and figure out how to change as the market changes once you actually have to put a shovel in the ground. So it's hard. There's a lot to balance. So thank you for the tough question. I will also say thank you to Boston Real Estate Times. I really am honored to be up here today. I feel incredibly grateful to be around such inspiring women and be part of that group. Thank you to my boss, mentor, friend, Rusty Martino, who is here. I don't know where he is sitting. He's always been someone who supports me, and I think that we talk a lot about having important mentors in our life, but having a sponsor is incredibly, incredibly important in your career. Someone who doesn't just give you advice, but also sticks up for you, rallies for you, and also has your back and puts you forward for opportunities, which I have been very, very fortunate to have in my career. I think at Skanska, we get the opportunity to have an awesome, awesome team, and it's about teamwork. You'll hear that from probably everyone here today. So thank you to my team and helping me navigate the challenges of this career and giving me this opportunity. So thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Our next honoree is Whitney Galvin. Whitney is the head of retail, leasing, and capital markets with vast experience in global, national, and local retailers. She's worked on various projects and corporate clients, including Rockpoint Group, Boston Properties, and Regency Centers. She has an extensive relationship with local, regional, and national retail tenants, and is an active member of several industry organizations such as ICSC, Newswire, NAIOP, and ULI, to name a few. Whitney graduated from Wellesley College and focuses her charitable efforts on land preservation and human rights. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Whitney Galvin. Congratulations, Whitney.
Very much.
Your question is, what are the strategies do you use to build and maintain relationships with local, regional, and national retail tenants, and how has this helped you in your current role?
I'd say the number one is building expertise. I've been in the industry for 20 years. I've had the benefit of partnering with strong real estate owners and developers in the city. I've lived through multiple economic cycles. I've done a lot of deals, and I've done leases with tenants before online shopping was even a thing. So just having that experience, that certainly goes a long way. Next, I would say is being thoughtful about your reputation. oftentimes people take on more and more assignments. I feel like less is more. You need to be able to deliver and execute for your clients and build that trust. I think it's important to be honest and direct with retailers, and they can feel that, and they appreciate that. So building, having the expertise and the experience, the reputation, and then lastly, we're in real estate, right? So location matters. If you have a good piece of real estate, a retailer, a restaurant is going to be interested in it and want to talk to you. So I've been fortunate. I've been able to work on some high-profile assignments throughout Boston with the Prudential Center, High Street Place Food Hall. Then the bulk of what we do is in desirable neighborhoods throughout Boston, Cambridge, Somerville, and that certainly draws the attention of retailers and makes them want to form a relationship. So, and thank you again. Thank you for the honor. I appreciate it. I'm humbled to be awarded alongside such accomplished women, and I think just a phenomenal event that celebrates women. And I need to thank my team as well. They're here today, and I wouldn't be able to do this without them. I'm a mother of two, and you need all the support you can to be able to do it all. And so my team, I am so grateful for you. So thank you all.
Thank you so much. Our next honoree is Jessica Haley. Jessica is the Principal Director of Interior Design at Road Architects, where she leads the firm's interior team and worked on over 36 projects in the greater Boston area. Her work is featured in national publications and showcases her innovative approach to design that combines both contemporary and historic elements. Jessica has also been instrumental in growing the interior team at Rhodes and serves as a mentor at many at the firm. She was recently awarded the 2022 Distinguished Alumni Award from the Boston Architectural College for her exemplary accomplishments and commitment to the field of interior design. Please welcome Jessica Haley. Hi, congratulations. Elizabeth, the question for you is, as someone who has experienced working with startups and established Fortune 500 companies, can you discuss some of the unique challenges faced by these different types of businesses when it comes to aligning their real estate and business strategy?
Sure, good question. Oh man. I think our biggest goal as a firm, what we do is we listen to each individual client's needs. Sometimes as a brokerage firm, a lot of the clients are hesitant to tell us the entire strategy or what they're trying to do with their business. So as long as we can gain the trust, understand what the goal is long-term for the client, we're able to listen and find some strategies that if they're growing quickly, how do we find a landlord that lets them, rip up the lease and start new when they double in size 3 years into their 7-year lease. So it's just finding the creative methods of what they're trying to accomplish and putting the real estate in a way that isn't hindering their success. In other ways, it's been, employee retention. How are we getting them the best talent for their business? So every situation is, whether they're a startup or a large national firm, is just based on listening to what they're trying to accomplish, and then our relationships with the landlords, developers, construction folks, whatever they need to get it done, so that they're not thinking about their real estate truthfully. They'd like to see us as little as possible. Awesome. And then I'll just say thank you to my team. I'm extremely lucky to be third generation of a family business, which is apparently only 12% of family businesses get to the third generation. I'm lucky that my dad, my grandfather have created a legacy and a company that is so successful in the greater Boston suburbs. My team is incredible. Brokerage is not known for being the most collaborative within your team, and I'm lucky that anyone in my firm I can go to and ask questions, which has been unbelievably valuable to me. I'm lucky too, as the third generation, as I've been pushing some of the things we've been doing and making changes, that everyone on the team has been on board and letting me kind of push to our next, hopefully, 45 years that we've been in business. So very lucky. Thank you to my family. Thank you, Boston Real Estate Times. And congratulations to all the other wonderful women. This is an incredible group for me to be part of, and I'm really humbled. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Our next honoree is Dara Cowell. Dara became the CEO of Beacon Communities in 2019 and has led the company to a 280% growth in their development pipeline, resulting in $1.6 billion worth of work under the development in 2022. She's expanded Beacon's footprints and is known for leveraging private capital in complex public-private partnership deals. Dara is committed to the residents' wellness and the quality of life and has linked innovative housing to social justice. She's been instrumental in advocating for expanding affordable housing in the Massachusetts area. Ladies and gentlemen, Dara could not be here with us today, but let's have a big round of applause for her. She had a death. Our next honoree is Carly Murphy. Carly is the Senior Vice President of Legal at Biomed Realty, where she leads the legal efforts for the company's real estate portfolio. She has 17 years of experience as outside and in-house counsel and guides the acquisition, leasing, and development transaction of Biomed Realty. Carly played a crucial role in Biomed Realty's landmark agreement with Takeda for leasing of the 585 Kendall, overseeing the legal negotiations, drafting process for the lease, and all ancillary documents. Carly's legal expertise and leadership made this landmark deal and the site plan possible and seamless. Please welcome Carly Murphy. Congratulations, Carly.
Thank you.
Your question is, can you describe your experience negotiating and drafting the lease for Biomed Realty's landmark agreement with Takeda, and how did your legal experience contribute to the success for this agreement?
Sure. So this was a landmark lease because it was the largest life science lease in Boston last year, 600,000 square feet, and the largest lease in our company. It was also in record time. And I think the main reason the process was so smooth was because of the relationships that we had built with Takeda. They're a major tenant throughout our portfolio, and we have relationships with them on all levels, from on-the-ground folks to the legal team, where I came into play. And I think that sort of focus and credibility made it just very smooth. In terms of legal expertise, having a deep experience in the lab office area, I think allowed us to come up with, and me to help contribute with, creative solutions and quick creative solutions to issues that came up so that we could further their needs while also dealing with a very complex project. As long as I'm here, I wanted to just share a few thoughts. I'm honored to be part of this group, and I was thinking about why do I love being part of the real estate community, and how did I get here? And I think back to when I was a little girl, and I used to go on rides around town with my grandparents, and they had a big maroon Cadillac, the kind with the leather bench seat in the middle, and we'd go around and we'd look at all the old places that they used to live, and we'd go by the tall buildings downtown. And I just loved being with them, and the part that I loved the best was hearing the stories of these places and seeing what changed and what stayed the same. And fast forward in my career to when I started out as a lawyer, and I had an experience that was very similar to that cruising in the Cadillac. I was a summer associate at a law firm, and the director or the head of the real estate group took us summer associates up to the top of the hub for lunch, which is very common. And he walked around the windows of the restaurant pointing out projects that the firm had worked on and sharing the backstories. And that just spoke to me. I was hooked. I wanted to be part of making those stories and those projects. And I've been very lucky in my career to work first as outside counsel at firms like Ropes and Gray. Some of my former colleagues are here. It means a lot to me. And then moving in-house to Biomed Realty, which, as you said, is a life science owner. And that has been just an amazing experience. And I feel like I've been able to contribute on a deeper level on the ownership side, because we're involved in so many different aspects of the real estate process. And I've also been able to collaborate with amazing colleagues who are here as well, and collaborators from different disciplines on life science, which is such an important part of our ecosystem here. So just to wrap up, I think that one major change in the story of real estate in Boston that I've seen in my years is an increase in the number of women, as we've all been talking about today. And I just find that so inspiring and meaningful. On the 585 project, where the Takeda leases, that's a ground-up development, and there's many aspects to it. And we actually tallied up how many women were contributing to that project recently at the company, and it was over 70 women from all different disciplines, which is just incredible. And so I'm just honored to be here with everyone, part of this group, and want to thank everyone for their support.
Thank you so much. Our next honoree is Jean Nutt. Jean is the co-managing director of Gensler's Boston office. Under her leadership, the Boston office grew from 35 to over 200 professionals, and she has worked on notable projects such as Verizon's headquarters and Boston Globe. Jean is actively involved in CoreNet Global New England and the International Interior Design Association, IIDA. As a longtime member of IIDA, Jean has mentored the next generation of designers within the office and the industry. Her commitment to providing opportunities for others extends well outside her professional role. At her initiative, Gensler Boston has engaged in notable philanthropic activities with organizations like Boston Green Academy, Boston chapter of the National Organization of Minority Architects, Boys and Girls Clubs of Boston's, The Base, and We Care Boston, to name a few. Additionally, she serves as a member of Boston Ballet's Board of Advisors and was the design principal for Ballet Newton School. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jean Nutt.
It's a little security blanket.
Congratulations, Jean.
Thank you.
What inspired you to initiate the philanthropic activities in Gensler, and how has that impacted you personally and professionally?
You know, when you gave me the hint that that was going to be my question, I thought, because it's the right thing to do. But seriously, what I really love about Gensler is, you know, not only my amazing office and colleagues, but also the fact that I'm there to help support them and their involvement, and in a way direct them to make sure that we're balancing how we devote and make our contributions. You mentioned a couple of different things. I think right now in our industry in general, there's a huge movement towards making sure that we're creating much more diversity, equity, and inclusion, and in particular for the architectural profession, which has been male-dominated, I am a female, is to really, really dig deep into lots of different organizations than maybe we hadn't in the past. And so things like Boston Green Academy, where we're helping the high schools and such, and NOMA, which is an amazing organization because they also collaborate with another group called ACE, Architect, Construction, and Engineering, which goes into the high school. So for me, it's really making sure that we're reaching out, we're providing internships, really kind of trying to get beyond what is our traditional kind of career path that has been, the way that we have recruited. I was going to also say that what's really wonderful about this particular award, as well as the publication, is the diversity of types of women in the industry that are making a difference. And I really have to thank all of you and who are here as honorees, and also in the audience. I'll put in a little plug for Genser, which I've just celebrated my 32nd anniversary. But Genser, I feel, is really unique because as a woman in an architectural profession, which traditionally has been male-oriented, I've never felt like, oh, I'm the woman and they're the men. Of our 52 offices, 75% of them are co-run or managed by a woman. I think that says a lot about our leadership. Our co-CEO is a woman, and also a woman of color. You don't think about those things when you think of architecture, and I think we probably don't talk enough about it, but it's really important to say how women are really changing the real estate. What's the favorite saying? If you want something done, ask a woman to do it, and ask the busiest one, because she'll really do an amazing job. I do want to thank also my boyfriend Tim is here, who's been really supportive. I also have a new co-managing director in Boston, Jared, so I'm excited to have him here. My amazing colleagues, my industry friends, my industry partners. Boston is a really wonderful real estate environment for women, and I do think that as a kind of, a cohort, we do have a tendency to gravitate towards each other and figure out how to mentor and support and really be involved with all things real estate. So thank you again.
Thank you so much. Our next honoree is Lauren O'Neill. Lauren is an influential figure in Boston's real estate community. She's presently COO of AEW Capital Management and was previously a senior managing director at JLL. She oversees the capital market business at JLL, originating deals that led to over $10 billion in transactions. Lauren is a 10-year board member and past president of the Real Estate Finance Association. She's also the board member of Heading Home, an organization that helps homeless families become self-sufficient. She's involved in several professional organizations, such as the National Association of Office and Industry Properties and Urban and Land Institute, to name a few. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Lauren O'Neill. Congratulations, Lauren. Your question is, what inspired you to become involved in organizations such as Real Estate Finance Association and Heading Homes, and how do you balance professional career with the volunteer work that you do for the community?
Well, I think Natalie said it best. There really is no such thing as balance. You just learn to live with the constant chaos. But I do think, also, stealing Natalie's words, it's really easy to commit time and energy to something that you really care about. And for me, I've been really fortunate to have benefited from a real estate community and a community within Boston that's given me so much opportunity. And so it's been really easy to want to give back to that and to help pave the way for other people and to help others in the community who maybe aren't as fortunate as I am.
That's wonderful.
Also, I'll just thank a few folks here. Boston Real Estate Times, thank you for this award, but also for putting on this event. It's recognitions like this that I think help bring more women to our industry and help those that are there stay. So really appreciative of you doing this. Also want to thank my EEW colleagues. Thanks for putting up with me for the last year and for teaching me so much. It's a real pleasure to work with each and every one of you every day. And I just feel so fortunate to be such part of such an amazing company, so thank you. And last, just congratulations to all the other honorees. It's a real privilege and an honor to be nominated or recognized with you today, so thank you for continuing to lead by example.
Thank you so much. Our next honoree is Leanne Phillips. Leanne Phillips has been the Director of Business Development at Wise Construction for over 27 years, leading the company's growth from a small general contractor to a mid-sized market leader with over $300 billion in revenue and 180 employees. She has a strong and loyal client base with over 90% of their work coming from repeat clients. Leanne has built meaningful relationships with key clients in the industry and has earned the respect and admiration of her peers for her tenacity, wit, and passion. She has also played a pivotal role in building a strong organizational culture and recruiting top talent. Leanne is an active member of various industry organizations, including CoreNet, Crew, Women in Bio, and more. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Leanne Phillips. Congratulations, Leanne.
Thank you.
Your question is, what are some of the key strategies and initiatives that you have implemented at Wise Construction to build a strong and loyal client base, recruit top talent, and establish a strong organizational culture?
Well, my story is a little different in the sense that when I joined Wise, I was 25, and we were a very young, growing company. So when I joined that company, there were only several of us, so I handled a myriad of different things. I handled hiring, I was doing BD, I was marketing, I was writing proposals, I was just on project management on the lower level, I was helping out with estimating. I did a variety of different things. So with that, it was really interesting to see how the company has grown and fostered over all these years, and hiring was a really pivotal part of our company, making sure that we had the right people coming in, fitting in with our clients, and we continue to, strive for excellence. We're an incredibly client-driven company, and we make sure that everybody fits in with, our culture that we hire. You have to have the right temperament, you have to get along, you got to be humble and flexible, and we look for those individuals. Plus, we just like to have fun. And we want to work with people that we have a good time with and that they treat us well and they value what we do and what we offer. And we look for that and the same with our individuals. So, thank you. Oh, thank you. Anything more to that?
No.
Okay.
Would you like to say anything more?
Yes, I would actually. I'd like to thank John Wise for giving me that opportunity. Like I said, I was 25. I came in. I had zero construction experience. I worked for a consumer product company for several years. So it was really interesting when I look back and, I was chatting with some of my colleagues that are here. Sean, thank you. Laura, Kara, I really appreciate it. This was a big deal because our company was super small, and to just be where we are right now, it's a real testament to our people, our teams, our clients for giving us purpose, and I really can't thank you enough for John giving me the opportunity. You know, not many men would take a chance on a 25-year-old that had zero to offer, but going to like NAIOP events, which was my first event, and when I walked into that room back in 1995, and it was a former bygone paparazzi back on the, back between, it was in the Back Bay, and it was between Boylston Street and Newbury Street. I walked in there, and it was a sea of dark suits, maybe a handful of women. I think there were maybe 8 of us there. I don't even know. And the first thing that somebody did when I walked in was hand me their coat, which I was like, oh my God, I'm like the coat check. And then I was like, oh no, they're gonna ask me for coffee and croissants afterwards. So I'm so grateful for those women that pulled me aside, heard me in, showed me a number of things about construction, introduced me to organizations, and that's what it takes, and that's what I had, and I'm so grateful. They're all long retired right now, but they made a difference in helping me to achieve my success in my career. So I'm grateful for those gals. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Our next honoree is Erin Popa. Erin is an associate principal at BR+A and a rising star in the AEC industry. She graduated from Penn State University and has risen through the ranks since starting as an intern with BR+A. Erin is responsible for managing MEP communications and coordinating among trades, developing HVAC system designs, and promoting companies' morale. She also works with her colleagues and senior management to improve internal processes and pursue projects. Erin is an active member of several industry organizations and is dedicated to energy-efficient designs. Please welcome Erin Popa. Congratulations, Erin.
Thank you.
What inspired you to pursue a career in the AEC industry, and what advice would you give other women who want to join this industry?
Well, I wanted to be an architect when I was really young, and I quickly realized that I lacked a little bit of artistic talent. I was definitely math-oriented, and I kind of found the perfect blend at Penn State. They offer an architectural engineering program where we get exposure to architecture, structural engineering, mechanical engineering, and construction management. So I took the mechanical path, and here I am. In terms of what I would recommend to anybody pursuing this industry, I tell this to my coworkers all the time. Be curious, ask questions. You don't know what you don't know, and you really can't teach curiosity. And then second piece would be build relationships, build your network. You know, they say, it's not what you know, it's who you know, and I don't necessarily agree with the first part, because you gotta know a little bit. But it's definitely who you know. Relationships are everything. And that being said, I wanna thank, first and foremost, Boston Real Estate Times. This is an incredible honor, and I'm incredibly humbled to be amongst this outstanding group of women. Second, my BR+A family. You guys truly mean the world to me. It is a pleasure to show up to work every single day. You guys have seen me probably in every single mood, and you still put up with me, so thank you guys so much. And then also my clients and industry colleagues, you guys are not only my mentors, but my friends, and it's just a pleasure to work with everyone, so thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Our last honoree this morning is Andy Simpson. Andy is the Senior Vice President of Marketing at Samuels & Associates, a real estate firm that focuses on development, leasing management, and community building. Andy is responsible for reinforcing the company's brand attributes across various channels, including marketing materials, digital platforms, events, and community activations. She's led the development and marketing of two groundbreaking initiatives in 2022, the Fenway Cohort Project and The Station. Andy is involved in the internal initiatives including SNA's DEI and ESG committees and serves as a mentor in the company's mentorship program. Outside of the company, Andy is a certified mentor and works with women entrepreneurs through SCORE. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Andy Simpson. Congratulations, Andy.
Thank you.
Tell us, what is your marketing philosophy and how has that influenced your career?
My marketing philosophy. I guess I'd have to say that it is similar to my regular philosophy. I am a woman in real estate, but I'm a mom. I'm a friend. I'm a mentor. I'm a volunteer. I'm hopefully my team's biggest cheerleader. I'm a storyteller. I think in everything that we do, whether it's marketing or it's just being, we have to be curious. We have to find connections. We have to have fun. We definitely have to build a village. And I'm just so honored to be up here today because my village is expanding. All of you are outstanding, but what an honor to be amongst this group of women. I have built my career telling stories about amazing places, forging connections between basically everything. And I've built my life around people. Again, mentoring, building that village, cheerleading and supporting others. There's amazing things that can happen when you find those connections and you create opportunities for others. Samuels & Associates is a community builder with really deep connections to building neighborhoods and serving the people that we serve. We believe that everyone deserves to love where they spend time. And again, that goes back to building your village. People inspire me. I'm inspired by everyone that's here today. And I'm thankful for the women in real estate and the women that are in my life today and tomorrow. And I stand here today for all of them. I stand here today for my daughter. You inspire me to just follow my heart every single day. And I want to say thank you to the Boston Real Estate Times, to Samuels & Associates, to my team, to my family, and for everyone for championing me. When you had mentioned that I could be up here and say a few things, I thought, there's no way I'm going last, and how am I going to say something profound that everyone is going to walk away and say, damn, that last speaker. So I will end with a little bit of marketing. I will ask everyone to follow Samuels & Associates on LinkedIn, please. Because you're all outstanding. And I just want to say that the road to success is always under construction. So wear your hard hat and enjoy the detours, because everything seems impossible until it's done. And I'm done, so thank you.
Thank you so much, Andy. Can I just request you to please stay back on stage? If I can request all our honorees to come on stage for a group photograph, that would be absolutely wonderful. I'm going to move this.
Yeah, sure. I'll just say one thing, yeah. Also, I wanted to thank, before you leave, is Wise Construction for really sponsoring this event. We are very grateful to them for their support, and RW Homes for supporting this event. And we are looking forward to welcoming you again next year. Thank you so much, and we will have this place till 10:30, so please feel free to stay and network here. Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the honorees of today, let's have a big round of applause for them.
And a big round of applause to our Master of Ceremony, Jharna Madan, please. She did a wonderful job. Thank you.